Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Good start to the day. And I'll just wait a second here for a few people to come on. Make sure you can see me and hear me, and then we'll get going on a new study that came out. So, Nick, good morning. This morning, Rosa, Mike from Wawa, and Sandy, Jerry from Nouveau-Brunswick, go Habs go, Nativity, and Kim. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, guys, for watching again. Jeanette, so our staff is on this morning, Colleen, Sharon, and say hello to Natasha. How are you this morning? And Donna, good to have you on. From Niagara Falls. Francis from New Brunswick. Beth, good to have you on. Okay. Ready to go? Nellie. Our Yolande, good morning to you. You guys are great, and we appreciate it very much. Okay, we're going to talk about 2 studies this morning that were done, and I'll come on afterwards and say hi to you folks. Let me read the 2 studies to you so that we'll go into a little bit deeper dive this morning. The gut microbiome is altered in post-menopausal women with osteoporosis and osteopenia. The gut microbiome is altered in postmenopausal women with osteoporosis and osteopenia. So we'll go into some detail on that. Here's the second one. Processed foods drive intestinal barrier permeability and microvascular disease. So this is so important, and we talk about this all the time, and that is, the vast majority of disease starts in the gut. And study after study after study, I'm telling you, I don't think I go a day without a study on the importance of your bacteria in your gut. Now, the first study talked about postmenopausal women who have osteoporosis or osteopenia. Osteopenia is just the start of osteoporosis. This happens to be, again, I hate to throw the word epidemic around, but osteoporosis is like an epidemic today. It really is. In a country, in Canada, in the United States, where we drink more milk per capita than anywhere else in the world, is right here in North America. And you would think with all that calcium that our bones would be super strong. It's just the opposite, because the calcium, first of all, that you're drinking in cow's milk that is in the grocery store. Again, you know me, if you have a cow in the backyard, drink the milk, because that's whole milk. That is wonderful milk. It really is, if you can drink it right from the cow. But by the time it gets to the grocery store, you've got white Pepsi, terrible stuff, in my personal opinion. I do not like milk in the grocery store. Avoid it like the plague. But the gut microbiome is altered in people that have osteoporosis and osteopenia. Now, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I have no doubt in my mind that it's the gut microbiome comes first. So you don't get osteoporosis and then it changes your gut. your gut has changes, and then you get osteoporosis. Now we know that it's not limited to osteoporosis, because we'll go over the importance of your gut here, okay? But look at the second one, and this is the key in my opinion. Processed foods drive intestinal barrier permeability, because leaky gut is excess permeability. Okay, so let me remind you, I'll just give you a little teaching on your gut, okay? You can't see in there, but here's what's going on, okay? One, the war. The war. It's constant. It's always there. There's a battle going on in your body. I've used the example of the Bible that tells us, even though we can't see it, there's an invisible world of evil in the world. You can't see it. And the Apostle Paul says in Ephesians chapter 6, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. You can't see it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? You can't see inside your gut, but there's a war going on there. It's not only in your gut, but it's mostly in your gut, where you have at least 3 pounds and about 3 trillion bacteria. And it's a war that between the good guys and the bad guys. And as long as this is what we call biosis, it's just the way it is. You're going to have, and guys, and this is, I've said this many a time too, we have an overemphasis on bacteria, in a sense that bacteria is bad, germs. You know, house cleaners, it says on them, it kills 99% of all germs. Well, you don't want that. You don't want that. That's what an antibiotic does. An antibiotic kills 99% of all germs. That would, if you could put put it on the label of an antibiotic, you get on a prescription, it says it kills 99% of all germs. Well, you don't want that. You don't want to kill all your germs, because you see germs, or not you guys, but the world sees germs and viruses as the bad guy. Okay, there's the bad guy. It's a germ. You know, let's clean and let's kill it. And no, it's not a bad guy. It all depends on the state of your immune system. And a huge part of your immune system is inside your gut. It's that battle, okay? So that's one thing. It's good bacteria and bad bacteria. Got it? Got it? Okay? And as long as it's balanced, and your body's very smart, it knows how to balance these things. The second thing is, it's called permeability. Now you have a little barrier. You can't see it. It's microscopic. It's also, they're called endothelial or epithelial cells that make up a little barrier between your gut and your blood. So number one, you got a war. Number two, you have a little lining inside your gut. It's submicroscopic, okay? It's so small, you can't see it, but it's there, okay? It's just like the blood-brain barrier. It's there. Can't see it. It's invisible, but it's still there. And what this barrier does, okay, this barrier does not allow garbage to come into your bloodstream. You see, when you eat, okay, let's follow food. Last night you had a steak, like I told you to. And right from your mouth, you got enzymes, you've got things breaking down that food, gets into the furnace, your stomach, the furnace, and it mulches it. I mean, it is, you got high acidity, or at least you should, in your stomach, and that breaks down, and then you got your gallbladder that's releasing bile. It's coming from your liver, but your gallbladder is a little reservoir. It's allowing bile to come in, and it emulsifies the fat, so you can pick up the vitamins from your steak. But once it gets into the small intestine, okay, you have an invisible layer there that it only allows, like steak will give you, let's follow B12, okay? So you're eating steak and you're getting B12. Well, your body says, hey, B12, come here. I need you, okay? And that's how, isn't it your body unbelievable? That it knows exactly what to do. Hey, B12, come here. Hey, heme iron out of my steak, come here. I need you. Come into my bloodstream so that you feed all my cells. That's how your body works. Now, when you're healthy, you have a barrier there. It's very thin. It's microscopic, and it's partly made up of bacteria too. Okay, they're on your side. And what they do is they say, hey, you, yeast, I saw you. You're not coming in here. Get out of here, you bum. That's what your body does. And then it sees a bacteria that's no good. It's a bad guy. Let's say strep. It says, hey, you out. You can't come in. They're bouncers. Have you ever gone to a nightclub where they have bouncers? Okay? And they're big guys standing there going, no, you come in and you stand in line. Okay? Or you're a bad guy. You're never getting in here. Okay? But that's how smart your body is, guys. It has bouncers at the door to your bloodstream. And it says, no, get good riddance. You're out of here. That's when things are working well. Okay? But what happens if you have two things? One, you have a dysbiosis, big word, meaning that you got more bad guys than good guys. Uh-oh. Now you've got an invasion of a third army. It's called fungus. It's yeast. It's Candida albicans in medicine. That is coming to a theater near you. It's coming in and it's knocking at the door of your bloodstream. But the problem is, what if the bouncers are not there? What would happen that would not allow your bouncers to be there? Well, you've been eating junk food. You've been eating processed foods. Here's what it says. Okay, let me read the headline to you because I'm going to tell you about another thing too. Processed foods drive intestinal barrier permeability. Big word. Medicine loves big words. Intestinal barrier permeability. It means the bouncers are not there. Bouncers are not there. So what happens? You are eating processed foods made up of sugar. We talked about it yesterday, even chicken dishes, okay, happens to be number 3 on the list of calorie, the foods that North Americans love. And I'm not against eating chicken, but I'm against eating chicken balls or chicken fingers that are made in vegetable oils. Okay? And that's what kids eat. Oh, yeah, I go to Wendy's or I go to McDonald's and I get the chicken. The problem is the oil they cook it in. Do you know what that does? It destroys the bouncers. The bouncers are not there. One is your diet. Sugar does the same thing too, by the way, because processed foods are made with the wrong oils. And number two, it's sugar, babe. It's sugar, babe. Okay? And all these sugars added to foods, especially in the middle aisles of the grocery store. Okay, but that's number one. Number two. And this is really important for the permeability. The permeability, meaning that your bouncers get killed, they're gone, they're gonzo when you use antibiotics. When you use antibiotics, okay? 1 5-day antibiotic will wipe out all your good bacteria and destroy your border guards or your bouncers, guys. They're gone. Now you got garbage that should go in the toilet coming back into your bloodstream. Guys, this is exactly why at the Martin Clinic, we've said it 1,000,000 times that leaky gut is the cause, one of the causes of disease. Hippocrates said it 2,000 years ago, the father of medicine. All disease starts in the gut. Now, was Hippocrates, did he know what we know today about the intestinal barrier and about the bacteria in the gut? No, but he must have been some kind of prophet. Wow, unbelievable. And the more we study the gut, the more we realize Hippocrates was true. But guys, for the sake of teaching, and I taught this, it was one of the courses I taught to psychology students this semester at the University of Tennessee. I wanted them to understand that even in psychology, even in depression, because I talked to you about osteoporosis and osteopenia, but I'm going to tell you something. When they examine the gut, the microbiome of people who have anxiety, people that have depression, people that have mood swings, guess what? You've got more hormones in your gut, feel-good hormones, like serotonin, in your gut than you have in your brain. That is the gut-brain connection. I was teaching that this semester to them. It's well established now, folks. And you, my listeners, you've known this for a long time. Isn't that crazy? How your body works? You have a barrier. It says no enter into. You cannot come in. Nada. Bye-bye lo in good French. You can't come in. It's wonderful until you don't have it. So you take antibiotics, and people don't realize this. You don't drop dead right away from taking antibiotics. And please, okay? Don't come after me for this, because if you're new on this program, I have been telling you this for years and years and years and years, but here's what I'm saying. Antibiotics were the greatest discovery of the 20th century. Saved millions of people's lives? They still do. Am I telling you not to use an antibiotic? No, I'll never tell you that. But it's a double-edged sword. It can save your life, and then it can slowly kill you, because antibiotics wipe out your friendly bacteria that make up part of that lining that make up your border guards. Okay, got it? And so And the other thing, okay, because it's not just antibiotics, although that's the number one cause. This is why I've said to you in the past that I believe the biggest problem when you look at autistic children or whatever is mommy on antibiotics or baby in the first year or two on antibiotics. It strips away all their it strips away the lining between their gut and their blood, and it strips away the lining between the blood and the brain. You have a protective barrier up here. It's invisible, but you got border guards up here until you don't. Don't allow anything in the brain. You know what they see with Parkinson's? Fungus, yeast. How the heck did that get into the brain? Because antibiotics or non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. When you take your Advil, and when you take your Aleve, and when you take different over-the-counter medications, and guys, again, I don't want to tell you never to take that. You got a bad headache or whatever. Come on, I'm not telling you not to take it. Just understand what happens. So when you eat bad, why do you think one of the biggest reasons I started the reset was to reset your microbiome, to reset the bouncers back in your gut? You know, I was on the other night and looking at the private Facebook group, and look, guys, we love you and we want you to express yourself in there. Now, don't be nasty. We won't allow that. No, but seriously, you guys are great. You have no idea how smart you are. Okay? I mean it. How much you know. You see, health, it's almost shocking that my generation and the generation preceding me, my parents, I mean, it was health. Nah, they just, whatever the doctor said. But today, the world's different today. We've got the internet, we've got, all these tools that people educate themselves. And you know what? I like it. Question. Study. The Bible says that. Study it. Don't let it collect dust. Study it. And guys, study health. It's important. You guys understand this. I know I'm preaching to the choir this morning, but good for you. I'm pumping your tires. You should study these things. A bad diet, and this is the studies. It's saying processed foods, a bad diet, carboholics, okay? Carboholics drive intestinal barrier permeability. It's just a big stuff to say this. The border guards are gone or the bouncers aren't there. And it's one, food. Okay, food. 2, antibiotics. 3, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Those are the 3 big ones. People that, they live on Advil, and, the Tylenol really isn't but Tylenol really is hard on the liver, and that gets down into the gut level too. Anything that's like an anti-inflammatory like that in terms of medication over the counters, okay? So probiotics, and this is what I want to talk to you a little bit about. Okay, so what do? Well, first of all, you got to clean up your diet. Don't feed the bears, because the bad guys, especially yeast. You want to fix that barrier. You want to fix the microbiome, okay? What do? Change your diet. Do you know that yeast, fungus, Candida albicans hates steak and loves bread? It loves sugar. Got it? That's the way your body works. That's the way your body works. Don't feed the bears. It only loves sugar. It looks for sugar. They're like cancer cells. Cancer cells are fueled by glucose, sugar. So, you need to replace that lining. You need to replace, you start with food and then you use probiotics. There's a blood test you can use, by the way, to decide whether you need probiotics or not. Oh yeah, Dr. Martin, yeah, there's a blood test. Prick your finger. If it comes out red, you need probiotics. If it comes out any other color, the blood, then don't worry about it. Probiotics. You need them. We got trillions of them. They're being wiped out all the time. You need probiotics. What are the best probiotics? Okay? The best are multi-strain because different strains do different things. You know, I love broad spectrum. 30 years ago or more, I told patients, when nobody knew anything about probiotics, I used to tell patients, shut up and take them. No, I didn't say it like that, okay? Because they'd ask me, why do you want me to take, what is it called? Probiotics, okay? Now they're very popular today. But in those days, they weren't popular. I didn't say shut up, okay? You know how my sense of humor is, okay? I said, okay, dear one, little lovely, you need to take probiotics. Why? Because I said so. No, that's the doctors of the old days, right? You don't do that anymore, okay? You don't do that anymore. No, but you need broad spectrum. What does broad spectrum mean? It has at least 10 different strains, and every strain does different things. They each have their own job to do. That's why when you tell me, somebody says, oh, Dr. Murdoch, I eat yogurt. Oh, I'm not talking yogurt. The second it's pasteurized, you wouldn't have a bacteria left. You need in one, did I save a probiotic? I showed you this before, but I know. I already have my probiotics this morning. But if you take one little capsule, you'd have to eat 16,000 yogurts to get what you get in one little capsule. And make sure it's broad spectrum, meaning it's got at least 10 different strains, okay? And I love strains like L. reuteri and L. rhamnosus. Why do I like those strains? Because they kill yeast. They kill yeast. They kill fungus, Candida albicans. Now, before I go on with probiotics, let me just say something that's very important. Okay? Your good bacteria, by the way, you know what they do? We talked about permeability, like allowing garbage into the thing, but your good bacteria, when your microbiome is in good shape, and when that barrier is in good shape, you know what happens? You know what happens? You are now picking up your vitamins and your minerals. This is why they're saying there's altered microbiome with osteoporosis and osteopenia. It's not that you're not eating calcium, it's you're not absorbing calcium. Do you know that vitamin K2, for example, that you get in butter or cheese, vitamin K2 and vitamin D, you need a good gut even to absorb these things. A lot of people, they eat, but they don't absorb. It's not what you eat, well, it is, but it's also what you absorb. If you don't have a good intestinal bacteria, You see what we mean by leaky gut and how dangerous that is? Leaky gut, depression, MS, every autoimmune. People ask me every day, oh, doc, what about autoimmune? Yeah, you got leaky gut. What about my skin? Well, you got leaky gut. What about my brain? Well, you got leaky gut. What about my lungs, doc? I got bad lungs. Well, you got leaky gut. I got bad sinuses. You got leaky gut. I got allergies, doc. You got leaky gut. I don't care what kind of allergy. Environmental, from the outside, or from food you eat. And oh, gee, doc, I can't eat eggs. Well, you got leaky gut. You got leaky gut. Joints. You got leaky gut. Now, if you got an injury running, well, that's different. But joint pain, you got leaky gut. Leaky gut, leaky joints. Oftentimes thyroid. I was reading the other day on the Facebook group, and this woman, and I didn't even finish the last one, did I? I do that a lot of times. I go down a rabbit trail and I don't finish what I meant to say. What I was reading was, she did the reset and she wasn't too happy. Okay, because she didn't feel there was any spectacular results. And I don't want to mention names, but I felt very sorry for her. But look, I should have jumped on and said, look, don't give up, because I'll tell you what, you, first of all, that lady who was saying she didn't get all those great results from the reset, first of all, she was looking at weight loss, and the reset's not for weight loss, although it is the best weight loss program available. I guarantee that. But that's not the point. The point is it's the reset. It fixes your insulin. It fixes your insulin. If you do it, it will fix your insulin. That's a huge thing. It also helps to fix the gut. Now, it may take you to completely regenerate the gut, the lining, and the border guards and the bouncers. It might take you longer than that. But that's the health journey. For some people, they're so metabolically unwell, even their thyroid. Do you know that inside your gut, you convert T4 to T3 thyroid hormone, but not if you have leaky gut. You see, your thyroid's a puppet. It doesn't act on its own. And this is why, guys, I tell you, it's so key that you understand these things. Okay? Heavy metals, like I was saying, even with Parkinson's. Heavy metal, it's not heavy metals, the number one thing, although lead and cadmium, they see a lot of that in mercury, in the brain, even in children. How did it get there? How could it get across the blood-brain barrier? The same way it gets into your bloodstream in the first place, inside your gut, because of leaky gut. Because of leaky gut. So use a multi-strain probiotic with multitude of different strains of bacteria. It's essential. The best are soil-based bacteria, not ones that have to be refrigerated. Okay? Look, all probiotics are good, but some are just a lot better. Okay, and you know me, I've been consistent. I've said it and said it and said it for well over 30 years. Okay, well over 30 years. Okay, different ones do different things. So get your broad spectrum probiotics. I wanted to bring those two studies out to you this morning. It's incredible. It's incredible what they're finding out now about the gut and the lining of the gut. Okay? So, tomorrow is Question and Answer Friday. Okay? Question and Answer Friday is tomorrow. Send your questions in. It's not too late. I'll try and touch on all of them. I got sidetracked last week. I got on a tangent, which is not unusual for me, but I really tried my best, okay, to try and answer all your questions. Okay, so don't be shy. Don't be shy. Send in your questions, okay? Join the Martin Clinic private Facebook group. What a beautiful group it is. Love the feedback. Love the interaction between our members. And then the Metabolic Reset, #1 selling book in Canada, okay, is, we got it. Okay, so thank you for making it #1. We appreciate it. Tony Jr. and I want to say thank you. We love you, okay? We talk to you soon.